This is Mindfulness with Richard, a time to reflect and deeply meditate. Excuse me, I'm slow on the switch today. This is Richard Clarke. I'll be your host today. Welcome, and let me get started. Then, for the last 2 months, I've been talking about Sadhana Chatushtaya, the 4 means of realization. This is an ancient teaching about spiritual practice that is essential for the attainment of self-realization. This is a final review. The 4 means are: first is Viveka, discrimination. Next is Vairagya, dispassion or detachment. Next is Shat Sampatti, which are the 6-fold virtues. And then finally, Mumukshutva, which is desire for liberation. Mindfulness meditation can be a valuable tool for developing and strengthening these practices, and these practices deepen mindfulness meditation, so they work together. To review the 4, Viveka is the ability to discriminate, to notice the difference between the permanent and the impermanent, the difference between what is always and what just comes and goes. It is the recognition that the physical world and the individual self or the I thought are just temporary and illusory, while the true nature of existence is eternal and unchanging. Through Viveka, we can understand that the ultimate reality is the absolute consciousness in which everything appears. Vairagya is detachment from the material world and the sense pleasures associated with it. This detachment allows you to focus on the pursuit of spiritual growth and liberation from the idea of birth and death. Through Vairagya, you develop a sense of detachment from the impermanent and changing nature of the world, and begin to cultivate a deeper connection with what does not change. Also, through Vairagya, you learn that the source of happiness is within yourself, not from external things or activities. Shat Sampatti refers to the 6-fold virtues that are necessary for the attainment of self-realization. These 6 virtues are Sama, control of the mind; Dhamma, control of the senses; Uparati, renunciation of worldly desires; Titiksha, endurance; Shraddha, faith; and Samadhamma, one-pointedness of mind. Through the cultivation of these virtues, you develop the necessary inner strength and discipline to undertake the spiritual journey. These develop as your discrimination and detachment get deeper. Mumukshutva is the desire for liberation from the cycle of birth and death. It is the driving force that motivates the seeker to undertake the spiritual journey and to overcome the obstacles that arise along the way. Through Mumukshutva, you develop the necessary determination and persistence to continue the pursuit of self-realization, even in the face of difficulties and challenges. This desire for liberation is the most important of the four means. Mindfulness meditation can be used to develop and strengthen these four components by cultivating a deep awareness of the present moment and a non-judgmental acceptance of your thoughts and emotions. Mindfulness meditation helps to develop Viveka, discrimination, by allowing you to recognize the impermanence and illusory nature of the material world and the idea of an individual self, the I thought. Through mindfulness meditation, you also develop Vairagya, detachment. By cultivating a sense of detachment from the thoughts and emotions that arise in the mind. By observing these thoughts and emotions with detachment and non-judgmental awareness, you begin to recognize their temporary and illusory nature and develop a sense of detachment from them. This is a natural process as you develop your discrimination. The practice of mindfulness meditation also helps to cultivate the sixfold virtues. Through the development of one-pointed focus on the present moment, you cultivate sama, control of the mind, and dhamma, control of the senses. By observing the impermanence and illusory nature of one's thoughts and emotions with non-judgmental awareness, you cultivate uparate, renunciation, and titiksha, endurance. By cultivating a sense of faith and surrender to the present moment, you develop shraddha, faith, and samadhamma, one-pointedness of mind. Finally, mindfulness meditation also helps to cultivate Mumukshutva by developing a sense of detachment from the material world and the individual self by observing the impermanence and illusory nature of one's thoughts and emotions with non-judgmental awareness. These four means to realization bring with them deeper meditation. That's why they've been recommended for thousands of years. If you want to start cultivating them, start with discrimination. Just notice what comes and goes, what is changing, and notice what is always present within you. This is where all four of these means starts. As you gain strength of discrimination, the others start to naturally follow. So that's it. Let us go around the table and see how the meditation has been. How's your meditation been, Doug?
It's been good. I love the feeling of peace that I get from meditating.
Yes,
That's one of the real, a definite benefit.
yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You know, the teachers say that, bliss is within us. I've had trouble finding the bliss, but this field of peace is sure great. And I feel like maybe that kind of peace is another name for that bliss.
Mhm.
It's just a name. Anyway, very good. Very good. How about you, Richard?
Good. Steady, watching thoughts flow by. And that's why we call it meditation.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yes, yes.
When there's no more thoughts, then we're in our blissful nature.
Uh-huh.
But as long as you don't show interest in them and keep following them, that's the sign meditation is helping.
Right, right. The thoughts don't have any power on their own. They only have the power that we give them.
Exactly.
And so some of us learn to stop powering up our thoughts. And then, as Doug says, we feel more peace.
Yep.
It all works together. Hello there, Carol. How's your meditation?
Fine. We've been doing it most days, and it's been steady and sometimes even deep. Not often, but that happens.
Just maintaining a steady practice is so important. Okay, now speaking of a steady practice, let's have some for ourselves. And mindfulness is present moment awareness, paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally, fully receive whatever is experienced, then let it go. All right. And now we'll have a video from Swami Sarva Priyananda, who is ready for spiritual life.
Even if I've talked to people that in my day-to-day life that seem to be in suffering, and I like explain things that are starting to help me. I'm not saying that I'm enlightened or realized or anything like that, but like in other jivas, there's just maybe the veil of ignorance is so strong that there's either no interest, they think it's false, or they just don't understand,
Right.
and don't seek, or the message doesn't resonate. Like, right. What is it that makes us ready to?
Right. What is it that makes us ready? Why does Vedanta appeal to somebody and not to others? See, the basic requirement is there in everybody. What is the basic requirement? If we feel we are dissatisfied with this particular state of things in my life, that's enough for you to start on spiritual life. That's enough. But what happens in most cases is we feel that quite apart from spirituality, there is something available right here in this world which will serve to take away my suffering and give me peace of mind. Yeah, spirituality, religion, maybe, yes. But I'd really be happy if I got $1 million. No, I don't want $1 million. I just want $100,000. That's enough. I'll be happy. Or I'll really be happy if I get this nice house in the suburbs with a nice school district. That's what is not Vedanta. This relationship, this amount of wealth, this amount of success, and I have got it. Now there are people who strongly feel that. And no amount of persuasion will dissuade them from that. The only thing that will work is experience. Let them go through it many, many times. Then they'll begin to see neither this nor that is helping me. Then one awakens into something higher. And that could be spiritual life. And there are stages. One awakens from pure pursuit of materialism to a moral and ethical life. That makes you happier. From just being a good person, I'm a good person but an atheist, to awakening to a higher power. From being a devout bhakta, devotee, Catholic or something, to the pursuit of jnana, of spiritual knowledge. That higher power is within me. So there are stages of awakening. And it depends on the readiness. So the readiness, in Sanskrit it's called adhikara. Adhikara means person qualified. And qualification consists of two things. Yogyata, capacity, and akanksha, the desire, the aspiration. Both must be there. And both come through life. Life teaches you. It's the wise one who takes the lesson very quickly and moves on. It's the foolish person who keeps on repeating it and churning his wheels in the mud and trying to, just digging oneself in deeper and deeper and deeper, while precious time flies by. Precious time flies by. And soon nothing more can be done. You have to wait for the next life. But that is not last. In the next life, a person becomes a much wiser person. And your parents will say, what a wise and mature child. That's one. Another way of looking at it is, first of all, we try to make ourselves happy by rearranging the world, by changing the world. My circumstances in the world must be different. A better house, a better car, a better relationship. We try to reform the world, we try to reform others. Make others, they should behave like this and they should not behave. The main purpose is they should all be consistently and endlessly nice to me. That's the basic thing. If you say it out loud, it sounds silly, but that's what we are trying to do. Then slowly we realize that doesn't work. It's very difficult to rearrange the world. Even if you do according to your liking, it still is not particularly satisfying. By the time the world has fallen into the perspective you want it to be, you have moved on and changed. It is not no longer satisfying to you. Then you become mature. You try to rearrange your own life. Okay, I'm going to get up early and I'm going to do yoga and I'm going to eat gluten-free and that will make me happy. Rearrange the physical circumstances of your life. Very soon you see, no, that's not going to make me happy. Then you go further. No, the real thing is inside. I'm going to rearrange my mind. I will have holy thoughts. I will think about my Ishta Devata. I will repeat my mantra, and or I will calm my mind down in meditation and follow the breath and things like that. That works much better if you do it seriously. But even that's not ultimate. I'm now speaking from the Vedanta perspective. Finally, you come to who is this I who is trying to be materialistically happy or morally happy, ethically happy or spiritually happy. All of these projects belong to the I. Who or what is that I? When you investigate it, you find the real I, Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham, who does not need any of it. Who does not need the wealth and pleasure of the world, who does not need the high moral, ethical life. Not that the person becomes unethical, remember, that's a wrong understanding. Who does not even need spirituality. Shankara said, you say, who said that? You're making it up. No. Remember that Chidananda Rupa Shivoham, Shankaracharya sings, I am Shiva, of the nature of bliss and consciousness. One of the lines goes, Na dharmo na chartho na kamo na moksha. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. What do people want? They want pleasure. I don't need it. What do people want? They want power and wealth and success. I don't need it. What do people want? They want virtue so that they can go to heaven after death. I don't need that also. What do people want? They don't want any of that. They want moksha. They want to come to Vedanta society and get liberated and enlightened. I don't need that also. Who needs that? The ignorant person needs it. I am Satchidananda. Why do I need moksha? So that's how it comes. Step by step. Unless one is ready, it will take time. You can save yourself a lot of grief and a lot of effort and time and many lives by coming straight to Advaita. Many people think non-dualism, it's really dry and abstract and the final thing. No, I think it's the easiest thing. It's the direct approach. Why not do that? Ramana Maharshi was once asked, am I qualified for Vedanta, for Advaita Vedanta, non-dualism? Am I qualified for non-dualism? And Ramana answered, did you say I? Because his main method was, who am I? If you can use the word I, you are qualified. If you are using the word I, and we all are, who is not? In that case, you have got an I. That means the vertical I, not this one. I was talking about getting the eyes checked, going to the eye doctor, and then somebody said to me, Swami, you are also an eye doctor in one sense. the vertical eye. Oh God. Yes. Since we have it within ourselves all the time, why take a roundabout route? Why not walk straight to it? Who am I? Who is the I who is trying to be worldly successful, who is trying to be moral and ethical, who is trying to be spiritual? Who is that? What is that I? Yeah.
All right. Now let us have another meditation. All right. And our chant. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace,
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 peace.
peace. All right. I think I got some of Doug's peace. So thank you. Any comments or discussion?
I feel it's such grace to be called to these teachings.
Yes.
You know, he was commenting about different people going through things and finding not happy with this, not happy with that. I was conditioned to make money and that make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I can attest that it's not true.
Uh-huh.
So that this has been a calling in my life for now a number of years. Pure grace. I'm very grateful for it.
Uh-huh. That is wonderful. And the real happiness, it's funny because the real happiness is something that we just carry with us all the time.
Right. It's like the truth. It's just waiting there for you.
Right. Yes.
it's all one.
Yes. And that makes it easy,
It does.
because there's not something else to discover. Anyway, thank you for
Thank you.
joining together again today. It's always such a pleasure.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
It is. Namaste.
Namaste.